This video is made possible by NordVPN. Get the NordVPN holiday deal at nordvpn.com/TopTenz or use the code TopTenz. Get a 3-year plan, 81% off, plus 2 amazing gifts, 4 extra months for free, and the NordPass password manager app worth $194.61. Hackers are a strange aspect of both the underworld and the professional world. For one, they seem slightly intangible and conceptual, operating in the cyber world, and are often stereotyped and simplified in fiction and seen as sort of virtual folk heroes akin perhaps to pirates. But the reality is a bit stranger. In this video, we're looking at some of the most notable hackers in the world. Number 10. Jonathan James. The story of Jonathan Joseph James is a shocking and tragic one. James had the dishonorable distinction of being the first juvenile offender in American history to be sentenced on cybercrime charges. Nothing good came of his nefarious career, and he was found dead at the age of 24 in his home in Florida as a result of suicide by gunshot. James got started on computers at the age of 6, getting so obsessed by his early teens that his parents confiscated his electronics, only returning the computers when he left home, and refused to return unless they gave them back to him. As a teenager, James got into computer systems belonging to Bell South and a school system before going into deeper waters, which put federal agents on his trail. James had put a backdoor entrance in a server at the Defense Threat Reduction Agency, or DTRA, which formed a division of the United States Department of Defense. He then hacked into the system, accessing more than 3,000 messages of employees. Things got terrifying when it was revealed that this youth got hold of software that was nothing less than the International Space Station's source code tasked with life support system control. NASA describes the software as that responsible for the International Space Station's physical environment, including control of the temperature and humidity within the living space. The cost to address this problem was $41,000. In 2000, at the age of 16, James was arrested for these epic hacks. James's punishment included being placed on probation until his 18th birthday. In 2007, James was afraid that he would be blamed for a huge hack of TJX department store, and this led to his 2008 suicide. Number 9. Loyd Blankenship. Author of the Hacker Manifesto, originally titled Conscience of a Hacker, Loyd Blankenship was somewhat eerily known as the mentor before being identified. Blankenship served an unsettling role in the history of hacking, defiantly taking an unapologetic invasion stance on the battlefield of computer innovation versus cybercrime. His words speak for themselves, and they are as follows. This is our world now, the world of the electron and the switch, the beauty of the board. We explore and you call us criminals. We seek after knowledge and you call us criminals. We exist without skin color, without nationality, without religious bias, and you call us criminals. Yes, I am a criminal. My crime is that of curiosity. My crime is that of judging people by what they say and think, not what they look like. My crime is that of outsmarting you, something that you will never forgive me for. Tough words to swallow indeed, but a spur to those who innovate to fight cybercrime. So what became of Blankenship? Well, it was hired by Steve Jackson Games, which was raided by the US Secret Service, leading to a legal case. Separate from all of these happenings, he remains a writer on the subject of computers. Number 8. Hamza Bendeladj. Hamza Bendeladj is a hacker extraordinaire, a grand donor of money not his own, and a banker's worst nightmare. A hacker with skills and ideology, the Algerian national co-created the Trojan horse spy eye and proceeded to steal a shocking $400 million from 17 different banks in the United States. After pilfering the extraordinary quantity of funds, Bendeladj went on his mission and reportedly donated the entirety of the cash to Africa and Palestine. Of course, though, the story doesn't end here. The spy eye software was offered up for sale, purchased by other hackers, and made part of a botnet, expanding the radius of damage. On April 23, 2016, he was arrested and sentenced to 15 years in jail for his stunts. Also called the Smiling Hacker, the cybercriminal has been viewed as a hero by some, but recognized as a troublemaker on a grand scale by those with, let's say, just a more cynical view of his acts. His work has been credited with helping to cause around $1 billion in financial losses worldwide. Number 7. Owen Walker. A notorious New Zealander turned youth hacker, Owen Walker, started writing computer code at the age of 13 for entertainment. Without formal education, everything he did was learned by trial and error. Walker launched cyber attacks around the world from his home base in Hamilton on New Zealand's North Island, where he lived with his family. After an admission by Walker to the hacking stunts and subsequent court case, charges were not laid, but an $11,000 bill for damages and costs was paid out. Botnet technology was utilized by Walker, who rented servers in Malaysia to do the dirty work. After the resolution of the legal matters, Walker cashed in on his notoriety, though not without great controversy. The former AKIL, who had worked on 6 significant world cyber attacks, including the 2007 shutdown of the University of Pennsylvania's IT system, was eventually hired by Telstra Clear, a communications company in New Zealand, for whom he conducted presentations and made appearances in advertisements as a security consultant. While the hacker group for which he was the ringleader cost victims a cool $26 million. Number 6. Jeanson, James Ancheta. In January 2006, a hacker from Downey, California, who attacked personal targets and even US military installations, was sentenced following federal investigations that led to his doorstep. Just 20 years old at the time, Ancheta used botnets to gain control over a shocking number of computers, hundreds of thousands of computers in fact. The man also infected machines located on US military bases. The eerie form of hacking that Ancheta had unleashed involved gaining profits by using everyday people's computers en masse to carry out spam attacks and release mass pop-up advertisements. By law, Ancheta could have faced 50 years of imprisonment, but ended up having to spend 60 months in prison, having his BMW confiscated, and giving up over $58,000 of hacking profits while paying $15,000 in restitution to the US federal government. The penalties stemmed from his 9th of May 2006 plea of guilt to 4 felonies for violation of United States Code Section 1030. The penalties stemmed from his May 9, 2006 plea of guilt to 4 felonies for violation of United States Code Section 1030, fraud and related activities in connection with computers. Now in today's video, lots of nefarious people, and a great way to protect yourself from them is with today's sponsor, NordVPN. If you're online using public Wi-Fi in places like a coffee shop or whatnot, you really should be using a VPN, and that's when NordVPN comes in. I know it's tempting not to bother and hope for the best, but really those stories you read online of people having their data stolen, they do happen, and you don't want to make it easy for people to steal your data. Whenever I'm browsing on public Wi-Fi, I just keep NordVPN running in the background. It's just there all the time, so I don't have to worry about this stuff. But it's not all just about security. You can also use it to change the country that you appear to be in. So if you want to access videos that are normally only available in a certain geographic location, you can just go into the Nord app, tell them that you're in that specific location, and boom, there you go, video available. NordVPN is super fast, so watching videos is a breeze. There's no lag whatsoever. If you ever used VPNs and thought they were slow, well, no more with Nord. Now, you might have heard about the Nord breach in the news recently, but it's important to point out that no user information was exposed in this breach because NordVPN doesn't keep any logs on its servers, because it doesn't keep any logs at all. It's based over in Panama, so it doesn't have to. However, NordVPN are still moving to a 100% owned server model, unlike most other VPNs. They're also improving other aspects of their security. So, start protecting your internet experience today and get the Nord holiday deal at nordvpn.com/TopTenz, or use the code TopTenz. Get a 3-year plan, 81% off, plus 2 amazing gifts, 4 extra months for free, and the Nord Pass password manager worth $194.61. And let's get into those top 5. Number 5. Dennis M. Moran. American hacker Dennis M. Moran specialized in denial of service attacks, proving that one determined and informed individual armed with a laptop and bad intentions could unleash a shockingly disproportionate wave of global virtual destruction. Moran was born in 1982 in Massachusetts and went by the alias Coolio as he shattered senses of security at the corporate level and then threatened national security in the United States. In 2000, Moran was accused of engaging in denial of service attacks prior to his arrest for damage to security websites and illicit access of United States Army and United States Air Force computers that were spread out across 4 military bases. The guilty plea by Moran included damaging DARE and RSA security websites, along with the clandestine armed forces computer hacks. Number 4. Kristina Vladimirovna Svechinskaya. While an exceptionally nerdy guy with a sociopathic streak, strange manifesto, or activist's vendetta may be a common stereotype of a hacker, a mysterious young Russian woman vies for a prime spot in the ranks of highly destructive hackers worldwide. Svechinskaya was just 21 years old when she hacked into thousands of bank accounts with a Zeus Trojan horse attack, as well as opening multiple bogus bank accounts as part of a hacking collective. As a result, she and her fellow hackers stole $3 million from bank accounts in the United States. Often known as an attractive and charismatic face in the shadowy world of hacking, Svechinskaya could have received 40 years in prison for her fraud and false passport use charges. Number 3. Karl Koch. His activities and death shrouded in secrecy, German Cold War era hacker Karl Werner Lothar Koch was born in 1965 in Hanover and lived a short life, dying at the age of 23 in 1989. He went by the alias Hagbard, a name inspired by Hagbard Celine, going on to hack United States military computers and then give the information to the Russian KGB for a price. The somewhat strange-minded Herr Koch called his computer by a distasteful acronym which he stated stood for First Universal Cybernetic Kinetic Ultra Micro Programmer. This was a computer created by Hagbard in the Illuminatus trilogy. Koch, along with co-hacker Pango Hans-Heinrich Hubner, confessed to the act of espionage and hacking under amnesty laws which prevented their arrest and prosecution. Strangely, this all came to a nasty end when Koch was found burned to death in the woods. While officially a suicide, it is believed by many that Koch was murdered to prevent more confessions. Koch's shoes were not found, while the fire around his body was very orderly in its burn pattern, forming a small circle. This is often thought to indicate foul play. Number 2. James Kosta. An early starter in the world of hacking, James Kosta racked up an extraordinary number of charges related to his hacks of highly sensitive corporate and government computers, including IBM and General Electric. He was 14 years old. He'd been earning a steady income in high school through his IT business, and that led to him founding a school computer club. When his parents told him he had to shut down his business and concentrate on school grades, he took legal action and applied for emancipation, which was soon granted. Kosta then took a bad turn getting involved with a group of hackers that set the bar high for initiations and rites of passage. A total of 45 counts of technical burglary made the young Kosta eligible for 45 years of imprisonment, but he was released with conditions because a judge saw the potential for rehabilitation. One condition was that he serve in the armed forces as soon as he was of age. This led to him joining the Navy when he was 18. By 20, Kosta was hired by the CIA as an intelligence analyst fighting warlords and terrorists. The youth entrepreneur, juvenile offender, and super hacker turned government agent soon took the next step to greatness at the age of 24 when he sold a company for several $1 million. You might know of him as the founder of 3G Studios Inc. Number 1. Impact Team. Not an individual hacker, but a group of like-minded individuals doing a peculiar brand of virtual vigilante-style action, Impact Team was responsible for exposing personal secrets that could break up marriages. Although it's really fair to say that the marriages were already broken. In 2015, Team Impact hacked into the notorious extramarital affair-themed dating website called Ashley Madison. The hackers claimed the theft of over 10 gigabytes of user data, including names, addresses, and credit card records of Ashley Madison users, along with the details about their expressed fantasies. Impact Team explained in a manifesto their opposition to the services provided by Ashley Madison. A company shutdown was demanded as the means by which the release of private data could be negotiated. The site was not shut down, and soon the hackers of Ashley Madison released the personal information of clients, allowing spouses, employers, and more to know about their attempts to have an affair. So I really hope you found that video interesting. If you did, please do hit that thumbs up button below. Do not forget to subscribe. Brand new videos just like this every day of the week. Please do, when you're subscribing, hit that notification bell so you find out when we put out a new video. Also, why not check out another channel I do called Biographics? I'm going to link to that below. And as always, thank you for watching.